a warning?
There's nothing to worry about.
I'm worried that you work in an office. Have children. Celebrate wedding anniversaries. The world of heterosexual is a sick and boring life.
From creator Jim Henson, co-director Frank Oz, and Gary Kurtz, the producer of Star Wars, comes a unique world. A wondrous civilization and a totally new concept in fantasy adventure. The Dark Crystal. From a screenplay by David Odell and Jim Henson. Coming soon to a theater near you.
Welcome back to the show, listeners.
Welcome back.
Welcome indeed.
We both have our giant swords that we will be battling out for the crystal in this episode. I'm very excited to talk about this movie.
As am I. This is an old favorite. Got a long history with this one.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope we do it some justice.
Yeah, I'm excited to finally talk about it.
Yes, indeed. Listeners, my name's Pete.
And I'm Scott, and these are the movies that made us gay. Our Easter weekend episode?
Yeah, why not?
We almost did The Prince of Egypt for this episode, but circumstances happened that we are now talking about the Dark Crystal.
Yes, indeed.
I could see the Dark Crystal being broadcast on Easter week. Why not?
Sure. He is risen.
Mm-hmm.
What better way to celebrate? With some gnarled up old lizard birds.
Yeah. I've always wanted to talk about this
puppets.
movie on the podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited.
Absolutely.
I love this movie. We both love this movie.
Indeed. Indeed. So what are some stats for the Dark Crystal?
The Dark Crystal, directed by Jim Henson and Frank Oz, screenplay by David Odell, released December 13th in New York City and went on to its nationwide release December 17th, 1982. The Dark Crystal initially received very mixed reviews from mainstream critics, while being criticized for its darker and more dramatic tone in contrast to Jim Henson's previous work, although it was praised for its production value. Since its release, this movie has gone on to a large cult following.
Yes, indeed. We are finally getting to the Dark Crystal. Absolutely. I mean, this is the definition of a cult movie.
Yeah.
Any streaming platform that you go to and you put in cult movies, this has got to be something that comes up immediately. This is kind of like if a filmmaker, if a television show needs to telegraph, hey, guess what? This movie takes place in the 80s. Big old Dark Crystal poster right in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
Which I have some issues with. But, it's just kind of become this touchstone for...
Where would you gotten a Dark Crystal poster in the 80s?
Those are my issues.
Sure.
But it's just become this kind of shorthand for 80s weird fantasy cinema that there is so much of that's so good. Our show is not solely dedicated to it, but there are tons of great shows out there that are completely dedicated to this type of movie, not the least of which is our friends over at Once Upon a VHS. This movie is, like I said, it's just shorthand for, if you know this movie, if you know what it's about, then you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Scarred many a child growing up.
I mean, that's the thing. You mentioned it early on. I think this has got Jim Henson's name. Well, this has Jim Henson's name on it. Frank Oz. There's puppets, and this is 1982, right? There's that classic clip of news broadcast man on the street outside of a movie theater for Alien.
Mm-hmm.
And talking to the parents.
I love that footage.
What'd you think of this movie?
Yeah.
And the parents are like, oh, I don't know, man. It's kind of a lot, because they got little kids with them. They're talking to parents with children, and then when they ask the kids, like, "What did you think of this movie?"
Especially
They're like,
following something.
I fucking loved it.
Especially following something like Star Wars too.
Yeah. So this is, like I said, you see Jim Henson, you see Frank Oz, you see puppets, right? And you're like, okay,
Everybody loves puppets.
Everybody loves puppets. I'm gonna take the kids. We're gonna take the whole family, and then you go, and of course, we talk about this a lot. Media literacy.
Just showing up to the theater, having no idea what you're in for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, people just showed up to the theater not having no idea what movie they were going to see.
I've always been very fascinated.
What's
with
playing
that.
right
Whenever
now?
I still see that.
Insane. Wild.
And have you ever
Crazy
noticed that they
thoughts.
have a book at the information counter at the AMC that has like plot synopsis of the movies?
What?
I think it's still a thing that you can request it.
Wild. Yeah, do not get that. Never got that. Don't understand you if you do that. You're a crazy person. But yeah, media literacy is a very different thing at the time. You saw a movie trailer at the movies.
I would have been really excited
The whole
to see this movie from
full
this
trailer. You saw it at the movies. You didn't see trailers at home. You saw commercials, you saw TV spots. You saw 20 seconds, 30 seconds maybe. So people show up to this movie. What are these parents thinking when they're watching it? Mm-hmm. Are they just like, what in the shit? What the hell?
So do you have
Kinda
any memories
LSD
of
trip
seeing?
is this?
I mean, this would have been pretty. You would have been young.
I
when
don't
this
have
came out.
memories of seeing this in the movie theater. I do have memories of seeing Poltergeist at the drive-in.
Poltergeist is what,
Wait.
84?
No, it's 82.
No, it's 82. Okay,
Same
sure.
year. Tangent. Side note. Mental note. I mentioned the other day, I saw a trailer on Tubi for a documentary about 1982 being this
Big fantasy.
year for big fantasy horror movies.
What are
and
the
how-
big movies from 82?
I'll have to look it up. But, I do have memories of going to see Poltergeist. My mom being, 25, wanting to go with her friends to the movies.
Your mom showing up at
Throwing us in the
Poltergeist
back.
with two small children in the back of the car. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't remember this in the theater. What I remember is seeing this on cable. And this would come on cable. And I think it was one of those things that my mom was just like, it's got puppets. It's got Jim
bitch.
Henson. Sit down and watch this movie.
Everyone loves puppets. I have a list of...
All right, let's talk about 1982, Mama.
Here's some key fantasy genre films released in 1982. Conan the Barbarian. We prefer Conan the Destroyer more. The one with Grace Jones.
I mean,
It's
okay.
the stronger movie.
Yeah, these are strong statements. I feel like the Grace Jones one, it's for us, it is the stronger movie. But there are people out there that ride hard for the first movie, and that's totally fine. But yeah, I think it was our first Conan movie, both of us individually. So we're both like, that one's great.
Yeah.
Anyway, going on.
The Last Unicorn.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
The Beastmaster.
All right. Yeah.
The Secret of Nim.
Yeah.
The Sword and the Sorcerer, which is a movie that only exists to me as a poster. That image, like, it's just sort of burned into your brain from seeing it at the video store.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever actually seen it. Tron.
Right. Oh.
Flight of Dragons, which I'm not super familiar
Is
with.
Flight of Dragons the that Rankin Bass?
Yes, it's animated.
Yeah. Carla likes that movie. I think she has it on VHS.
Swamp Thing, directed by Wes Craven. And
Flight
The
of
Dark
Dragons
Crystal.
1982. Yeah, I mean, get out of here. Those are some bangers of movies. The documentary is called Best. Oh, I just lost it. The documentary is called Greatest Geek Year Ever, 1982. The greatest geek year ever. That is streaming on Tubi. We can watch the trailer a little bit later, but they talk about, all these bangers that are released that year. This movie, I mean, Blade Runner came out in 1982. The
Oh,
Thing,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't E.T. Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. There's a lot of stuff going on in that year, and so what I remember
E.T.
was
82. Yeah.
So what I remember was the TV showings of this movie, and my sister and I watching it, Amy and I watching it, and just a thing where we were just like it's on, like come watch it, it's the Dark Crystal.
It's the dinner scene.
And the dinner scene always had us. We would scream and run around the room when they're eating all that food, and they're just like, it looks so gross, eating spaghetti. I don't know. Just thinking, what in the hell? I don't think I followed it. I don't think I was like, yes.
Well, it's a pretty simple story. It's one of those stories. We can discuss it. It's a plot that when you think too hard on it, you're just like, this don't make any damn sense.
No.
But I think especially the version that they ended up finishing,
what does the crystal do?
I think it's pretty streamlined, that it's easy to follow. And I think that was a big thing with Jim Henson and the story. That was probably the struggle, is keeping this pretty simple.
Yeah.
Because it can get into the weeds with this plot. And I think they do a pretty good job streamlining it to something that's easy to follow.
Right.
So you mentioned the television airings.
Yeah.
That I was introduced to this movie when I would go visit my aunt when I was seeing my cousin Laura in Great Falls, Montana. That she had this recorded off of TV, probably its first broadcast. Probably on like CBS or ABC, but I would always watch it whenever I went over there. And I only have memories of watching The Dark Crystal when I would visit my aunt.
Okay.
That it was something that I would always do. And I did it for years.
Yeah.
That I would watch it with the commercials intact. And I remember it was a holiday broadcast because all of the commercials were
Christmas commercials.
commercials.
Okay, so this is network TV. This isn't cable.
I'm pretty sure it was like CBS or ABC.
Okay. Because, when I was watching it, I'm sure it was HBO. And if it was that early in the 80s, then it was when we, pirated. At that time, a cable box was the little brown fake wood box, and the numbers were digital, and it was 2 digital numbers, and they were, red. And there weren't that many channels, and there was something that they would do in the back, and they would turn. Okay, you got the premiums.
You could get HBO on.
So we got HBO
channel 1.5 or something.
Yeah, and it had these little buttons on the top that were like click buttons. Or it might have been On TV. My mom talks about having On TV, which had 3 channels, and it was like HBO. So I remember, and we also watched Fairy Tale Theater at the time. That's another thing that was around this era, Fairy Tale Theater. People put Labyrinth hand in hand with Dark Crystal hand in hand with Labyrinth a lot because obviously they're both Jim Henson joints.
Puppets. Yeah.
But, we talk about that early to mid 80s fantasy, that's dark fantasy, that's, legend and, this and things that I guess are made for kids, but really are kids these days just like, what the fuck? I don't know. Are kids these days?
Yeah. And I think that Callum and Michael from Once Upon a VHS talk about that. That's a common theme with a lot of movies that they cover of who is exactly is the target audience of this.
It's made for it.
And I think that you could maybe say the same thing about The Dark Crystal. Because I guess face value, it's a kid's movie, but then you actually sit down and watch it,
right?
And you just kind of think, but is this a kid's movie?
Yeah.
Me, on the other hand, I ate this shit up.
Yeah,
I loved it.
I loved it.
I was never that child that would get scared at the scenes with the Skeksis.
No.
I loved them.
I loved them.
They were my favorite parts of the movie.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
same. I love the Skeksis. I loved. I did love Kira, that she could fly.
Love Fizzgig.
She had wings, she's so pretty. I loved Algra. I loved it all. I wasn't scared. My sister hated E.T. My sister hated Gremlins.
Sure.
I loved it all. I was like, give me more.
I bet Amy has memories of seeing this in the theater.
Probably, yeah. My mom covered my eyes at the drive-in at Poltergeist when the guy was tearing his face off, and I was trying to rip her hands off of my face so I could see it.
A lot of the criticisms of this movie, still probably to this day, is kind of the uncanny nature of a movie without people in it. And we were discussing this when we sent our little clip for Once Upon a VHS to be in their episode. Yeah. That stuff like that we didn't even think about when we were kids watching this movie. Yeah. Just because I think that when you're young, you just kind of surrender. This is a puppet movie.
Well,
this is Puppet Land. Absolutely. Why would there be people in this movie?
Right. You are used to seeing movies populated by talking animals.
Yeah.
Right. And you're supposed to take it at face value and say, yes, this is the world of this movie. I couldn't say definitively if I saw this or Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas first. But is
Probably roughly around the same time.
Well, Emmett Otter is released, I believe, in 77, 78, officially on HBO. And then it just gets re-released
Just gets
every year.
broadcast every Christmas, yeah.
Is Emmett Otter kind of the proof of concept for this movie?
I mean, it probably...
There's a lot of shit in that movie.
There's a lot of problem solving that was
Right.
that they brought into the production of The
Right.
Dark Crystal.
Right.
I know that the production of The Dark Crystal bumped with what the Great Muppet
Muppet
Caper,
Caper,
that they were
yeah.
shot back to back.
Yeah, yeah. But, Emmett Otter, as well as the Muppet movie, have things like puppets riding in boats.
So, do you think that big shot?
How
of
does a puppet ride?
Jen
a boat?
and Kira, is that the Kermit riding the bike shot?
Which one of them in the boat?
Yeah, on the boat, because they do shots like that in Emmett.
Yeah, Emmett and his mom are in the boat. But the thing about Emmett Otter, what they do is that, and what they do brilliantly in this movie is that there are various and sundry ways of or versions of puppets, so that you're like, oh, that's a guy's hand in a puppet, and he's using his hand, and then there's a marionette, and
Sure.
then there's a small person in a suit, and then there's
It's kind of a combination of all of those.
it's
in
everything.
Dark Crystal.
So when you think it's one thing, they do something else, and you're like, oh, well, it's not that, and that's how that person is running, and you see their feet, So they use all these techniques so that you never get used to one or the other, and that just sells it, right? And one of the first shots of Jen that we see is him sitting by the river,
naked.
all naked in sans chonies, playing a pan flute with both arms.
Yeah.
How the fuck does it? But when puppets use their hands, it's crazy. It's just, where is the other? You as a puppeteer have two hands, and one is inside the puppet, doing the body and the face or the head or whatever, and the other is maybe moving one arm around.
Yeah, I have no idea how they did that shot.
So they get a second person
Of
to come
Jen.
in. So is that a marionette? Maybe is that a full robot?
It's
radio controlled
probably-
robot.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Someone knows. People listening are like, listen, dorks, it's this. All right, sorry. But this is the point. This is the first shot of the movie showing, look what this puppet can. This is not Kermit the Frog, right? This is not Fozzie Bear, which Kermit the Frog and Fozzie Bear can do some crazy shit. Like you said, Kermit riding the bike. Each of these movies have these things where you're like, how the hell do they do that? Right? How do they do the riding the bikes? Is that a crane?
A crane,
Big
marionettes,
crane,
I don't know.
Essentially a big marionette, with the big crane up above.
It is
And they're on
movie
ropes.
magic.
Not ropes. Fishing wire. It's magic. It's the
Magic,
movies,
yeah.
darling. But, the cool thing about the era that we're in now is that we have all these behind the scenes things readily available at our fingertips. Do you want to talk about the world of the Dark Crystal?
Okay, so we were watching a little bit of The World, The Dark Crystal, which is a very famous making of documentary. I mean, would you say it's one of the most famous making of documentaries in movie history? I think it is.
I mean, possibly. I think at this time it was kind of the beginning of the movies really showing off. This is what we did, right? And I think for big spectacle productions like this, people wanted it, famously Thriller. The Thriller video has one. I wouldn't say the Thriller video when it's feature length is probably half an hour to 45 minutes, but a 45-minute behind the scenes featurette on the making of a 4-minute music video, crazy, right?
The making of The Dark Crystal originally aired on PBS January 9th, 1983, and was released on the film's various formats. I think that when this would air on the Disney Channel, they would air the making of Doc with it. They would put it right after.
Yeah. Return to Oz had one that was really great. I was talking to you last night. I've been watching these YouTube videos about these special effects guys who watch these movies and they try to figure out how they made special effects, and they're trying to recreate them as best they can. And they were talking about the DVD era, right? And we'll talk about this DVD in a minute. The DVD era really was like that Renaissance DVD time of the special edition DVD. Those bitches had hours of special features. Remember, like the commercials would be like with 3 hours of special. You're like, fuck yeah. And like they wanted to show you. They're like, this is how we did it. And nowadays, when you get movies on streaming, they're like clips. They're like 6 and 7 minutes.
They're
long.
6 and 7. Well, do you remember the whole thing with Barbie a few years ago?
They don't want to show you what they're doing.
They want to make it that, we did this all in camera.
Yeah,
we
lies.
built all of this on these sets in London.
Lies.
Most of that movie was shot with a green screen back.
And they did build a lot, but they're miniatures.
And they took them out whenever they would do press.
When they did press on Barbie, there's a lot of gray screens or gray nothing behind them. You're like, what is that? It's digitally altered blue screens or green screens, right? Yeah, so now these studios are actively hiding what they did to make these movies. But at the time, when DVDs were new and young, they gave us all this shit, and the world of the Dark Crystal.
Henson and his crew is like, do you know how much goddamn work we put into this movie?
Yeah,
you're going to see how we created Thra.
Yeah, The Labyrinth has a great one as well. But you know what I love watching these movies for, especially those two, is that some of these late 70s, early 80s mimes and puppeteers. There's some hotties, and they could, because they're like dancers, they're mimes, they're all movement guys.
I was on Robbie Barnett's Wikipedia page, and Robbie Barnett,
and it's hot out there in Elstree Studios in England, so they're like running around, taking their shirts off.
Do they call them the Landstriders?
Yeah, Landstriders. Yeah.
Robbie Barnett, friend of the pod, Robbie Barnett, by the way.
Yes,
you two
Hi,
share the
Robbie.
same name. Hi, Robbie. But he was the main stilt walker that would be in the shots when the Gelflings are riding the Landstriders.
Yeah,
he is also in Return to Oz.
Love it.
Yeah.
As a wheeler.
As a wheeler, yep.
Because he's up on stilts. He's up on these people like.
They say on the making of The World of the Dark Crystal that they had to put him. They did have to put them on wires because if they were to fall, they don't want
a huge crane. Yeah.
They don't want to kill this.
Oh yeah,
they don't want to kill this puppeteer.
Because not only is he on stilts, he's on 4 stilts because he's got 2 for his front legs, his arms. So he's like a big giraffe. And he's inside of this fucking rubber suit. So he probably can't see a damn thing. He's like hunched over, ass over tea kettle, like in a weird position. And he's, 10 feet off the ground. Landstriders are great. We're going to get to them as well. But, speaking of like DVD Renaissance and all that stuff, this famously was in a bundle of DVDs when I got my first DVD player.
Oh, I'd love that.
That cost upward of $300. I went to Best Buy.
I don't think my DVD player was that expensive.
I think it was almost $300. Yeah, when I got it. I went to Best Buy and bought some DVDs.
What were your first DVDs that you bought?
It was The Nightmare Before Christmas.
We still have all of these, by the way.
Yeah, we sure do. I want to say Spy Who Shagged Me was in there.
Ooh, we talk about that on the
Nightmare Before
Spy Who
Christmas
Shagged Me episode. That was a loaded DVD.
Oh yes,
there was a lot of good shit on there.
There's Easter eggs in the DVD menu. Easter eggs. Oh, chef's kiss, love. And so having grown up watching this on HBO, maybe getting a tape of it taped off of TV, watching it over and over again like that. You put this shit in a DVD player and you watch this, it's like, oh.
Yeah, the transfer for it.
Oh,
because you're so used to that V8, that tape.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, listeners, we've been going through our VHS collection, and we've been looking into my childhood tapes that I got from my grandma's house. We were watching some of The Never-Ending Story last night, and I'm like,
cuckoo.
This should be kind of a thing, is revisiting your shitty transfers of movies that you love.
Well, what we found out when we put in The Neverending Story was that it was taped over some soaps.
Yeah.
Which means
we're trying to figure out
soaps,
what... Oh, no, that was Star Wars.
Oh, that was Star Wars. That was Return of the Jedi?
That was Return of the Jedi.
Because that didn't look bad.
Because I would have got that from my Grandma Joan, and my Grandma Joan would always tape her soaps every day.
Yeah, but that didn't look bad. I was going to say that meant they were probably taped over many different soaps, because the Neverending Story one looked kind of been through it.
Yeah.
But Return of the Jedi looked okay. At any rate, yeah, I got this DVD, popped it in there, and I was like, oh, this looks crazy.
You can finally see a nice transfer of a movie that you love.
Yeah. So it's just like that was the beauty of like DVDs at the time was old movies, right? Not new releases.
I would have to explain that to patrons of the movie store when they would say, what's really so great about DVD? And that's what I would always say, is that you can really notice it on older films.
It always, and I've said this before, it would get me when you would pause it.
Yeah.
And it's just a crystal clear pause image. Because when you pause a tape, depending on your VCR, depending on the tape, depending on both, it's never perfectly still. There's a little bit of movement in there. Sometimes it's jumping around back and forth. When you pause a DVD, it's like, boop, perfect. Eevee, out of this world. Boom. It's a picture. That shit blew my mind, lasers. But, this is one of the first DVDs I've purchased. It's got this menu and it's got all this stuff right there included. And it's like, wow, this is so cool. Immediately you watch it and you're just like, I remember that.
I am transported to Thra.
Yeah.
We're such fucking nerds that we know the fictional planet.
Come on.
From Thra.
Well, listen, we won't spend too much time talking about Age of Resistance.
Which I've only maybe seen 3 episodes.
Because this is movies that made us gay, not TV that keeps us gay. So
I respect that it exists.
Yeah.
But I think that it's kind of a chore to sit down and watch.
Right. Now, I finished it. And while it's beautiful and it's 10 more hours of Dark Crystal content, right? It's not a sequel movie.
Which we were lucky to get anything.
We were lucky to get, because everybody was like,
and now there's
it
9
got
hours of
canceled.
it.
Yeah. Got canceled. Oh, there's not going to be another season. But yeah, it could have just been a sequel.
There was still almost 10 hours of Dark Crystal content.
So it's like 3 extra movies, essentially, if you think about it that way. It's like 3 sequels, a trilogy.
It is the length of all of the original Star Wars films.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, it does get a little heavy on,
Dark Crystal lore.
Yeah, Dark Crystal lore, mythology, and all that. And you really got to pay attention because this shit is really lore heavy. But I think as far as the movie itself, while the movie itself is very lore heavy, and we're watching it this time just going like, what does the Dark Crystal itself do? How is it keeping them?
So there was one race, and when the Dark Crystal cracked,
the Skeksis was the combined race.
Yes. It split these races into 2.
Yeah.
The broken and twisted Skeksis and the gentle mystics,
or the Uru.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure.
The mystics are also called the Uru.
I love the opening VO of this movie.
Very cool.
Is another world, another time in the Age of Wonder.
Yes, indeed.
Which, I mean, is kind of a perfect way to describe any fantasy film.
Well,
this is another world.
It harkens back to a long time ago in a galaxy far away. Which people take for granted. A long time ago in a galaxy far away. So all of Star Wars, thousands of years ago. Done. That looks like the future, spaceships and laser swords and all that. Done. Thousands of years ago. That's when that happened. And we found these tales.
That's very Battlestar Galactica, too.
Right?
All of this has already happened.
People forget about it. People don't think about it. You just think a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Or people think it's futuristic, too.
Yeah, exactly. And they read it, they hear it, but it just goes over, just kind of flies back. I mean, maybe you didn't. Sorry, people, I'm making assumptions here. But I think we take it for granted, right? And this is another way of saying that, another time, another place. This is not Earth, right? Yeah. Labyrinth, it's like another fantasy dimension. But they're goblins. We have goblins. This all takes place under a bridge somewhere.
Labyrinth is almost in the world of imagination, too.
Yes, yeah. Sarah's fantasy, right? But yeah, this could be taking place. Yeah, this could be taking place in another, just like I said, under a bridge, and it lures you to another land, whatever. This shit here, this is not Earth. This is somewhere else, far away, and this is a different time. But maybe it was a long time ago. Maybe it's the future. Who knows? But we, as the audience, are just along for the ride, and I think that's something really fun about this. But it also maybe makes it difficult for a film critic or a parent or somebody to latch on to.
Mm-hmm. Especially with audiences now really dissecting stories in a way that they were not meant to be in 1982.
Yeah.
That they weren't thinking there's going to be repeat viewings of this on various formats.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is always such an interesting discussion when talking about older movies.
Yeah.
Something that, I mean, maybe Jim Henson thought of it. I don't know.
I mean, it went straight to cable pretty quickly, so kids were watching this over and over again. But, as kids, we're not really dissecting, like, that kind of stuff about, like we're saying, what does the crystal do? How does it make them age? How does it make them stay young? Whatever. But, the Earth Skeks, these benevolent creatures are split in two when the crystal cracks. And the Skeksis are old and twisted. And the mystics are also old, but not so twisted.
Not so twisted. Okay, well, before we get into the Skeksis and the mystics and the Gelflings, we should probably talk a little bit about Brian Froud.
Yes.
I think it's really fun that when you watch that documentary and you can see the source art of Brian Froud, that these are drawings that he's been doing, that he had been doing previous, that Jim Henson just thought were really cool.
Right.
And they kind of built this entire story around his art. There's that painting of, I don't know what it's called, but it's of one of the mystics.
Right.
And it's standing in front of a naked man.
The mystics almost look like if you asked Brian Froud if none of this had happened and you went to him and you're just like, draw me a troll.
Yeah.
And he draws what evolves into the mystics. Their face, their head, right? Mm-hmm. Their body
They
shape.
have that long nose.
Yeah, their body shape and all that really kind of evolved in this movie, kind of going together with the Skeksis and the mystics and how their bodies kind of evolved. But their general shape, their appearance, that face is very. It's a little troll-ish maybe at the start because Brian Froud draws fantasy.
It's very like you're walking into a head shop. And you go in the back room where they keep like their bongs or incense.
Yeah.
And I could see this hanging on the wall.
Yeah.
Is any of the Brian Froud drawings. I love the Jim Henson inspiration for the visual aspects came from looking at an illustration by Leonard B. Lupin of a 1975 edition of Lewis Carroll's poetry showing crocodiles living in a palace and wearing elaborate jewels and robes, just kind of these reptilian creatures, but they're all fancy. And that's just kind of a big inspiration for the look of the Skeksis. A crocodile that is in this like Elizabethan garb. I love that.
Yes, yeah.
Look up those drawings; they're super cool.
Yeah, and then the drawing or the illustration that you're referencing of Brian Froud's, where he's holding the man. I think Jim Henson really incorporated a lot of this into this movie. Is that it's like vegetation and plants being alive in a way that they're like mobile, right? And being alive as like creatures. Because this almost looks like...
It almost looks like a tree.
It almost looks like a tree or a cave or something. And the hair is like moss growing off of it.
A lot of Thra and the little creatures that live on it. That, I mean, all of Thra is kind of alive.
Yeah.
So that when you see all of these shots of everything,
it
reminds me a little bit about Pandora.
Yeah.
If you're going to think about something like Avatar.
Yeah. Because like what Henson wanted to do in this movie visually, they'll start off with these establishing shots of the forest or whatever. And what you think is a tree will like get up and walk away. Mm-hmm. Or what you think is a rock will like have a mouth that opens or closes, right? Little things that look like moss will like roll away and be like a creature. You know, things that we expect, he kind of turns on its head to be like move in an unexpected way or live in an unexpected way. And I think you really wanted to play with. This isn't Earth, and like things that we think are stationary are not, and things that we think are going to move around are not. So, yeah, and Brian Froud really played a lot into that. I love in Labyrinth his fairies, his goblins, all of that, just really cool stuff. But yeah, a lot of his work just kind of evolved into what would become like Skeksis and Agra and everything. His hands are really cool, the way he draws like hands and
Did you ever have any I mean, what was the big, is it the Book of Fairies by Brian Froud?
Yeah.
Is it called the Book of Fairies?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Or just fairies, I think.
Fairies, yeah. Fairies, I remember that when I worked at Barnes & Noble.
Yeah.
That Brian Froud book that you can kind of see all of this art together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Met his wife on the production of this movie. His wife, I believe, she had a big hand in the creation of Kira.
Right.
And she talked a lot about how exactly do we design these characters that don't look so uncanny valley.
Yeah.
And they wanted to make Kira pretty.
Yes.
Too.
Yes.
And just kind of the big struggle with that design of what did they land on?
Yeah.
That could
well,
really
they were
work.
going a little more animalistic, and they're trying to make her look pretty and beautiful, but
They have to make her look more Olsen Twin and Taylor Swift.
Sure. Yeah. More Anya Taylor-Joy and less
Also a little Rachel Zoe. You could probably put like a Starbucks
the
cup.
hair, the long.
You could put a
the
Starbucks
long
cup
hair.
and like a long shawl
Lots of bangles,
on Kira.
bangle bracelets. We've got Rachel Zoe in the brain. But the character design is really great. It's really beautiful. We do have some limited edition Kira and Jen figures.
Those boxes are pretty shot.
Boxes have been through
You've
it.
looked up prices of them. Are they worth any money?
I don't remember. I'll have to look.
And your friend Matt got you those.
Yeah, well, they're actually his. I just had them on display in my apartment for many years and never gave them back. But kind of going back to the Skeksis and the Mystics, there's some cues that they're the same
Yes.
creatures, but there's also like the Skeksis look more reptilian and bird-like.
The Skeksis also have like they have those things on their back. I don't think that the Mystics have those.
No, yeah, the Skeksis have like feathers, ridges.
It's almost
ridge.
like they were feathers at one time
Yeah.
and they molted off.
Yeah.
And the Mystics don't have that.
Well, the Mystics have these 4 arms and 2 legs.
Full operating arms.
4 full. All 4 arms are the same size.
Because
and
when
length.
Chamberlain's all naked, when they take off all of his
Yeah.
clothes, you can see his little chicken arms.
They
when they're
have
dead.
little vestigial arms. So they have their 2 regular arms and then the second set of vestigial arms that are like shriveled and
They have
and tiny.
little T-Rex hands.
But the thing is that the Skeksis, maybe they just don't do any work. They have the podlings work for them. They are just slothful and just kind of like writhe around in their own crapulence all day long. And so their second set of arms have withered. And the Mystics use their both arms. They use them to play instruments or to paint or to create things.
also with that opening VO
Yeah.
is that the Skeksis are harnessing the power of the Dark Crystal, and they're
Right.
using little creatures like the podlings.
Yeah.
And the Mystics are more gentle, and they use kind of
Nature.
They're the Sedona gaze, and the Skeksis are the rotted circuit gaze.
Right. The Mystics are the radical fairies living out in the woods.
Oh yeah,
rolling around in the dirt.
These are like the Sedona elder gaze.
Well, the Mystics are aging gracefully, while the Skeksis are using unnatural procedures to prolong their lives. Right.
But it's not quite working because at the core, the Skeksis
know.
are pretty
They're
rotted.
rotted. They're literally rotted.
They're literally rotted.
Their arms are withering away, and they've got to cover their grotesque bodies in all of these robes, and
It's a very Chanel, like peplums and
and corsets,
and
shoulder pads, epaulets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Well, underneath they're just like gross and withered and skeletal. Not that the mystics are just like in the prime of their lives either. They can barely move. Mm-hmm. They walk at a glacial pace. You know,
they don't bother telling Jen about this quest until the 11th fucking hour.
Please move at a glacial pace. You know how that thrills me. Is that the line?
Yeah.
Okay. That maybe they should have offered up this information to Jen, the only surviving Gelfling. There is one left, and they're like, I can wait. He doesn't need to know.
Oh, by the way, I'm about to die.
All of us are about to die. The gross Skeksis over there are disgusting, like brothers, are going to inherit this entire world that is not ours. Because I think the Urskeks and therefore the Skeksis and the Mystics...
Are they just visiting this planet?
I think they're aliens.
They're just aliens visiting
Thra. They came to this planet and rotted it
makes
up,
sense.
Polluted it, you know? And Jen and all the creatures are... And the hobos, the podlings, the hobos, are the natives there, and they've come to like
the podlings have a very
all.
Fraggle Rock quality about them,
like they should be living underground. Yeah. So I think that's very interesting. This like dynamic of the mystics living out in the red sand.
I think still my favorite scene is the elder mystic. They all have names, by the way. Which I love that when you watch the credits of this movie, they all have names.
Yeah.
But my favorite scene is when they both die, and you get the really fucked up death of the Skeksi.
Yeah. Just withering away.
Yeah, and you see him rot.
Yeah.
On his deathbed.
Yeah.
On the other hand, with the mystics, you just see this very like...
It like turns into stardust.
It's a very like it's a very Yoda death.
Well, this is what I'm saying. He disappears and the blanket falls and like George Lucas is like sitting in the theater like holding hands with Jim Henson is like watching the movie. And that happens and he's just like, well, fuck my drag.
Sure.
So I think Return of the Jedi is 83.
Yeah, it's 83.
So the next year.
This would have been the year.
So this was first.
The year after Empire?
This is
Is Empire 80 or 81?
Empire's 80.
Okay.
Yeah.
A couple years after Empire.
Yeah, so this is first. This happens before Yoda.
But I just love that
dies.
image of you get this very like complaintive
contemplative
death from the mystics and then it just disappears.
Yeah. I like the little starry glowy visual effect that they add over it as he disappears. Cuz Yoda just fades. But this one, little stars kind of come around and then but they do the same thing where the physical blanket is there and then it falls down. They
You
do the same thing
love
with Yoda.
the
It's like,
little the space for the mystic's neck. Their little lounging.
Oh, he's got like a little chair, but it's like forwards so that he can like sit and like rest his little chin on this on this weird little lounge chair. But their bodies are crazy and these puppeteers are in there.
Did they? And I think that when you watch The World of the Dark Crystal, that they got acrobats and mimes for all of those scenes.
Yeah. They have to hold these poses.
And you're sort of crunched down doing it,
They said they're down on their haunches, in that position, and then one arm's out operating the head. And then the head is radio controlled, so it's got all these mechanics and mechanisms in it. So the head's like 30 pounds with your arm, your right, or whatever your dominant arm is straight out in front of you, and you're down on your haunches. And you're inside this suit covering you up with the little TV in it so you can see where you're going. And you have to hold that position for as long as the shot is. Jim Henson, the foremost puppeteer on the planet.
He said he couldn't do it.
Said he could hold the position for 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm. And you would have to do it for more than a couple minutes.
Yeah.
If they were filming it.
Yeah. So they had to get dancers, mimes, physical people in there to play these roles.
Mm-hmm. I used to love the footage of these puppeteers in the back of the Skeksis, and they're handing them like a Coke, or something, a bottle, some water to drink.
Yeah.
What's some of your favorite Skeksis scenes?
We love Trial by Stone.
Trial by Stone is
Just
pretty
like
iconic.
these crazy full body puppets wielding these insane swords. It's like, it's like wielding these swords around. Like, what is happening
Also,
right now?
beautiful piece of music in this movie. And I think that at this time, I could see them wanting to go a very different direction for this weird type of fantasy movie. But I like that it's a traditional movie score, though.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
I
an
think
orchestra.
It really works.
Orchestral score. Yeah. It's, you don't get a lot of scores that sound like this anymore. Yeah, it sounds great, and it's very fitting of this movie. Skeksis scenes that I love. I don't know. I think the Chamberlain is such a fun character.
Trevor Jones, he also did Labyrinth.
Damn. Okay. Yeah.
Also, Trevor Jones is from Monty Python, right?
I was going to say Trevor Jones, but yeah. He also wrote Labyrinth, which is crazy. Like he's a talent.
I think that he collaborated with David Bowie on the songs too.
I'm thinking of Terry. Wait, I think somebody else. Yes, the Labyrinth score was definitely a collaboration with David Bowie. But I want to look up. I'm thinking of the right person. Oh, composer. That's a different person. The Monty Python guy. Trevor Jones is a composer. Let's see, the writer for Labyrinth.
Oh, I don't know who I was thinking about.
Terry Jones.
I was thinking of Terry Jones.
Terry
Okay.
Jones is the Monty Python guy that co-wrote Labyrinth. Trevor Jones is a composer, though, and he.
Oh wow, they're different people.
They are
Who
different
knew?
people. Yes, they are. But they work on the same movie.
But yeah, Trevor Jones also composed the score for Labyrinth.
Yes, he did, as well as Notting Hill and The Last of the Mohicans. At any rate, the score for this movie is very well done. We like that it's a classic orchestral score. It takes you to that kind of like another time, another place, because it's not usual in the type of like structure of it, I guess you could say.
Okay, so the Frank Oz was the puppeteer for the Chamberlain. Frank Oz did both
As well as
Ogre,
yeah.
A Keeper of Secrets, and Chamberlain.
So this is the kind of puppet movie where the physical performers are not the voice actors.
Yeah.
Which for the Muppets,
Usually for Jim Henson stuff, it's
yeah.
usually the puppeteer.
Right. So Jim Henson is performing Jen, the main character, the main Gelfling, as well as two Skeksis. Frank Oz, like you said, Ogre, and Chamberlain. But they're not providing the voices. What do you think of the voice performances? I mean, I think the Skeksis are pretty crazy, but I love them all.
I love Billy Whitelaw as Ogre.
Yeah.
Swinging those big knockers.
Those big naturals. Just like
I love it is a fucking event when Ogre decides to sit down.
yeah.
It's a whole thing
Yeah.
of when Ogre is taking a seat.
And is that a person in a suit?
I think it is.
Wearing a mask?
I think Ogre is a little person.
Yeah. But Frank Oz is performing Ogre at some points.
I mean, it's one of those things. It's probably just depending on how they're filming.
Yeah.
If they're doing a big wide
If
of
it's
Ogre,
a full body, it's a person in a suit. And the sitting down.
that's going to
and
be
all
Deep
that.
Roy in that suit, probably.
Yeah. But Jen is maybe Jen and Kira are the most human-like puppets that we've seen from Henson, right? Because Kermit and Fozzie,
Yeah, they're
look like
animals.
Kermit and Fozzie,
Yeah.
right?
Bear and a frog.
When they walk by in a scene, they bounce up and down and do a little walk, but it's still, we give it a little grace because
They're puppets.
they're puppets and they look like a teddy bear, right? But when Jen walks across the screen, we kind of expect it to walk a little bit more naturally, right? And I guess you have to leave it to Jim to do that, to perform that. Catherine Mullen is performing Kira, and Catherine Mullen performed Moki in Fraggle Rock. Let's see, Moki Fraggle. Moki is not that she's the big tall one with the blue hair.
Sure.
She is that one, the blue.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
That one. And she performs, let's see. It says Muppet performer in a lot of things. Allegra in Allegra's Window.
Okay.
How about that? She's written on Fraggle Rock forever, but yeah, so she goes pretty far back. With Jill, who's Jill the Frog? I don't remember Jill the Frog in the Muppets Take Manhattan, but she's a strong Muppet performer, having done Fraggle Rock for a while now. So yeah, I mean, Dave Goelz is doing one of the Gartham Master and the General. Dave Goelz is Boober Fraggle, Uncle Traveling Matt, and most famously Gonzo.
Is he the voice of Gonzo?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And Steve Whitmire.
I mean, some of these voices kind of sound like Gonzo, too, with the Skeksis.
Yeah. Steve Whitmire, Rizzo, being the bunny. Mm-hmm. Kermit the Frog in the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Steve Whitmire is...
That's kind of classic Kermit, too. That's what when you think of Kermit.
He's really taken over. He did Kermit in the Muppets with the Muppets from 2011.
Yeah. Okay, so how do you feel about the original idea of this movie? Was the cut that they showed to the test audiences, everyone besides Jen and Kira did not speak English.
I don't like this.
And I don't know if they used a foreign or like if they use another language.
A made-up language.
A made-up language.
Yeah.
I know that they have Kira. When Kira speaks, they use it's a couple of things. It's like Croatian.
Yeah.
It's Russian. It's a few different things. But the idea of the Dark Crystal universe is that these would be races divided by language, and no one could understand each other. So there famously was a cut shown to San Francisco test audiences that had all of that in it, and you were kind of supposed to follow a lot of the story from the
visual storytelling,
acting from the puppets.
Yeah.
And kids were very confused.
Yeah.
They didn't really know how to follow this movie.
As
so
I
they
think
decided,
I would be.
So David Odell, the writer, and Jim Henson decided that they're going to write a script for the Skeksis and all the other characters to try, or they decided that they were going to write a script to match with the acting of the puppets.
Right, which sounds difficult. But yeah, I think it was the right choice.
I think it's the right choice.
Because there's a lot of scenes with just Skeksis talking.
I don't know if this movie would be as successful if you didn't have those voices of the characters.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of scenes with just Skeksis talking, and I think if they're just like blah, blah, it's like, what? I don't know.
There's some scenes on the Blu-ray that it's kind of, there's two seasons. I think that it's the deathbed scene.
Yeah.
And
Trial by Stone.
And Trial by Stone, where you can see it all mimed out.
Yeah. In the deathbed Emperor funeral, it seems like they're just like hissing. Mm-hmm. But in Trial by Stone, they're saying words. So I feel like they might have redone the deathbed, reshot the funeral. Because even the Emperor is just like, eh. But in the movie, he's like, I'm still Emperor. And his mouth is like fully articulated. Not articulated, but just like flapping. So yeah, I don't know. But I don't know if it would have worked. I don't think it would have worked. I see what they're thinking and I see what they're going for. That's a big concept.
Yeah.
Maybe in the novelization, you explain that.
And especially when your main audience is going to be
kids
and a little younger. I think you just need dialogue.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that was definitely the better choice by the filmmakers on that one.
You mentioned the eating scene. That scene's so good. It's so gross.
Roast Nebri. Oh, poor Nebri. That was a baby Nebri that they had. That was a
Oh.
roast Nebri because the big one was like huge.
Is it
the size of
giving
the table
Is it giving Dennis Quaid
in the substance?
eating the shrimp in the substance?
Yeah,
Is Dennis Quaid? Yeah, he's fully eating.
that was the most disgusting.
He's
scene in The
fully
Substance for
eating
me.
like a Skeksis.
When he's eating those goddamn shrimp in that movie, I had to look away. I was like, no.
We love the personalities of the Skeksis.
Yes. Well, the Skeksis are all a bunch of like F-slur faggots. Like they're killing me. All of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would assume that the Mystics. I mean, sure, the Mystics do seem like gay men,
Elder gays.
elder gays living out in the woods. Just Richard Hatch, just fully naked. Just
Not Richard Hatch.
tits out. You know, but you know what I mean? Just like, I don't care. But although the Mystics were wearing clothes, but still, you know what I'm saying? But I was going to say, I would imagine that they are genderless.
I love that one of the Skeksis is a little more fancy.
Yes,
And they put like white powder.
It's the ornamentalist.
They put white powder on his face.
He's got like, he's wearing makeup. He's got like powder. He's got a little feather. He's got a little feather
Yeah.
in his head, in his headpiece, and has like, a powdered face. Very like,
I like the one that is using a little utensil.
Yeah, there's like a little fork kind of a situation.
The little fancy man.
But they have their like little dainty like skeletal fingers. But yeah, they all have.
And this
these
was the
weird
scene that
jobs.
like you would scream at Amy.
Yes, it's
from the other
on!
room.
They're eating spaghetti. The little like weird like fuzzy rat mouse bird thing that's like scurrying across the table, and they run across the floor. There's like vermin in the castle. It's running all over the place,
But the Chamberlain is definitely the real Queen Diva.
Diva. Yeah. But the Chamberlain, like they said, they want this character to be like, they said they want him to be like slimy. And you're like, you don't like this character. Because.
Even the Skeksis don't like this character.
Yeah. Even the Skeksis like, fuck. I mean, maybe there's one or two. Because the Chamberlain's like, time to make my move. And none of them stop him until the general's like, no, bitch. Chamberlain, voiced by Simon Pegg in Age of Resistance.
I know that Aquafina.
She does one that's not in this.
Okay.
Yeah. Because there's more Skeksis in Age of Resistance.
Sure.
So some of them
are
killed.
I don't want to even go down the rabbit hole of when Age of Resistance is set.
It's before this.
How many hundreds of years?
It's before this, but the Skeksis are already in charge of...
And
They're already ruling the castle and using the Dark Crystal. Mm-hmm. But they don't... I forget what his name is, but he's the one that like is the mechanic. He's the one that's like the inventor.
The scientist?
The scientist.
He's voiced by Mark Hamill,
He's
right?
voiced by Mark Hamill in the Age of Resistance, not in this. He creates the Gartham at the end of the series. He like builds them, and it's like, this is our new army. But they're already living in the castle and using the crystal.
Who was the main Gelfling? Was it Taron?
Taron Egerton, yeah.
Egerton, yeah. Mm-hmm.
He was the main boy Gelfling. I did like what they did in Age of Resistance in that they gave the Gelflings, they were broken off into little tribes.
Yeah.
And each tribe had kind of their own characteristics and their own little society. There was like a warrior caste, and there was like the nobility, and there was the ones that like read books. There was the ones that lived underground. Not all of them flew. Not all of them used their wings. So there was a lot of deep lore like that.
I'll finish it one day.
Yeah. I'm sure there are people out there who are super into it and like know all the different tribe names and which one Jen is a part of and which one Kira is a part of. You can see by their physical traits like which ones they're part of. But
we always talk about the look of Jen and Kira. We mentioned that Kira is giving us Taylor Swift, Olsen twin,
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah.
Like, it's that type of girl.
Yeah. It's
But
that girl. I knew you were.
I love that Jen has this rocker chick hair. I love Jen.
yeah.
I love Jen's shag.
Jen has a cool like rocker shag. Like, who specifically is it giving? Is it, it's a little Joan Jett.
It's like a razor cut.
Yeah,
It's a razor cut wig.
It's a razor cut wig. It's a little Joan Jett. It's a little. Is it a little Joyce DeWitt? No,
not quite.
Joyce DeWitt. It's a little Ann Jillian though with the bangs, but
It
black.
doesn't. It's not quite. It's not quite Ann Jillian because it's not
The blunt bob. Yeah,
It's not really the blunt.
Yeah, it's layered.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess it's a little more. It's closest to like a Joan
There's
Jett.
also some
Yeah.
blue
But
highlights
there's
in it.
blue in it. Yeah,
Which
it's a
always
little
gives us Honora.
shimmery. Yeah, give it go. Yeah, the Honora realness. Yeah,
But I love these two characters.
yeah, really. Cool.
I know that Jen as a character probably annoys a lot of people, but I like Jen.
No,
I think
yeah.
he's a good protagonist. This is the hero's journey. This
Yes.
is the Frodo.
All right, alone then. And then at the end of the movie, he's all right, together then.
Yeah. And that's the thing is that Jen's going out on this quest by himself, but I mean, he can't get it done without the help of his friends.
Right.
That he wouldn't have even made it past home without
Kira.
Yeah.
And Fezgig.
And Fezgig. Oh, I love Fezgig.
Yeah, yeah. There's nothing like a early '80s dark fantasy to have like a little weird sidekick like Fezgig or.
We were laughing at how Fezgig gets up on the Landstriders.
Oh my God.
That you know that it was a discussion of, well, how do we get Fezgig up with Kira? Just I don't know. Just fucking throw him.
Just throw him up there.
Just throw him up there.
Is it giving the penguins, the Muppet Penguins, just like
Yeah.
being thrown in the air? Mm-hmm. I love a Muppet Penguin just getting thrown up in the air in the background. Yeah, but Fezgig is giving like kind of has Gurgi energy sometimes.
A little bit.
Little bit. Even though Gurgi could fully talk, and sometimes Gurgi's giving Gollum energy, but we were getting a little Gollum.
I was getting Gollum energy from the Chamberlain.
And
I like that
following
Jen
them.
and Kira
Yeah.
both were like, oh,
No.
fuck that guy.
Yeah.
No, you are not coming with us.
Because Jen, Jen could have fully gone Frodo, which, Frodo's just like, yes, fine, come with us, seeing the good in him and whatever. But Jen's like, no,
They're like,
bitch.
no.
No, you're gross and you want to kill us. We're leaving without you. When the Skeksis like pleading with them, when the Chamberlain's like pleading with them when they leave,
Please.
and he's like calling out to them. It's so scary.
Oh, when they're in the castle?
No, when they're in the ruins.
Yeah. Oh, when they first meet him.
When they first meet him, and they say no, and they walk away. Mm-hmm. He says something, and it's like he's pleading with them to stay, and he's like screams it. The more they walk away, he just starts screaming it, and it's very unsettling.
Mm-hmm.
Come, please, yes, please. Yes. No. Come on, Kira. No. Wait. Please. Please wait. Please make peace.
We'll find the clip and insert it here.
The drawings on the rock always remind me of the Neverending Story. You get a scene that's very similar in the Neverending Story when Atreyu meets the wolf, Gamork.
Yeah,
and we always say it reminds us of Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah,
because there's similar stuff in Battlestar Galactica.
Yes, we're gonna. This has happened before. Yeah, and it'll all happen again. We love that shit.
Yeah, I mean that's also just old as dirt. It's just kind of old storytelling too.
Yes, I mean, this probably goes back to like human history, like oral history of like just stories and passing stories along to each other. Yeah, it's been done already, but we can do it again. It's fine. I was getting a little Fifth Element just for the visuals of it, but I was expecting all through Age of Resistance. Oh, we're going to go here to where this broken down little city is. I don't think they ever went there. Could be wrong. Listeners, if I'm wrong, tell me which episode it is, but I don't think they went there. I was like, oh.
Do you see the podlings in Age of Resistance?
Yes.
Okay, I would imagine so.
Yes, I believe there are popular.
I also love the race against time element to the story of the mystics
The Great Conjunction.
going to the castle.
The Great Conjunction.
is happening.
What's the Great Conjunction, you ask? What's the Great Conjunction?
I love Agra when they bust into her laboratory.
Augur has been living
And
alone
she's just like,
in this
what
lab
the fuck?
for so long, and then Jen walks in and she's just like, girl, I ain't got no time for you. Hurry it up.
Yeah.
Speed it up. What do you got?
Speed it up.
Come on.
And now all of
Pick
a sudden,
the damn
my
shard.
home is burning to the ground.
Yeah. It's like, you dickheads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Augur's great. Is Augur our, like, Obi-Wan Kenobi?
I guess.
this movie.
I mean, she's the Obi. She's that.
The aged wizard.
She's the aged wizard.
Gandalf. Mm-hmm. Kind of tells you what you got to do.
I mean,
Sets you on your little journey.
there's that whole thing with Gandalf with them big naturals. I guess that it's just Agra.
Sure. I'll do a side-by-side of that. Oh, boy.
What do you think Agra's cabaret song that she's going to lip sync to
A torch song?
at her drag show?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is she doing the classics?
Is she doing... What's the one from that Mama did at the end of Gypsy?
Oh, sure. Yeah. We just saw the end of Gypsy
Yeah, well, that's why.
last week in Pop
That's why I
Sports.
have it on my
Yeah.
brain.
Is that Jane Russell?
Yeah. No.
Rosalind
that's
Russell.
Rosalind
Russell. Yeah.
Rosalind Russell.
Yeah, she's doing the big Gypsy numbers. Mhm. And I guess that Jen will have to
Gypsy.
fill in for the daughter.
Jen's doing the Gypsy Rose. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, Agra as a drag queen would be kind of amazing. But yeah, what songs are you gonna do? I mean, I think it's called. Is it called Rose's Turn? Yeah. Not everything's coming up roses. Any Ethel Merman.
Oh yeah, Agra is going to be doing Ethel Merman. Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Yeah, I would love to see the Thraw drag show. Do you think that the Skeksis are doing like Charlie XCX or something?
Oh gosh, I don't.
Kira's definitely doing. She's doing Taylor.
She's doing. I'm the problem. It's me.
She's either doing Taylor or maybe a Stevie Nicks number. If they need someone to do Gypsy.
I mean, you see, yeah, that one.
Gosh, I forget that David Odell that wrote this. He wrote both Supergirl and Masters of the Universe. Oh. I mean, Masters of the Universe has a very Dark Crystal feeling of it, of the throne room.
Yes,
That set in Masters of the Universe reminds me of the Dark Crystal.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, just that big set, the big castle. One of my fleeting memory. You know how when you see a movie when you're young and you just have these memories, like flashes of imagery, right? I mostly remember a lot of the stuff in the castle. I mostly remember the Skeksis stuff. I do remember the Landstriders and loving it.
The Landstrider look is so interesting because there's nothing really cute about them.
No, yeah. Their faces have like insect-like faces. They've got like a proboscis, like a butterfly, and with like whiskers. They have faces are like
because
flies.
I feel like sort of the big thing with merchandising is that these have to be cute animals so they could make a toy out of it.
Well, there was never Dark Crystal toys,
but they didn't really think about that when creating everything on Thraw.
Yeah, I mean, I would have wanted a Landstrider toy.
That would have been really cool.
It would have been hard to get it to stand up, but I would have wanted one.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work.
But they look crazy.
But I love the Landstriders, though.
Yeah, they're really
But yeah, what I'm just
cool.
saying is that, like, it's just interesting that they're not cute.
Yeah, they went out of their way to make the Landstrider look like nothing that you've seen before. You know, like I said, they have an insect face, but they're huge, right?
An insect, but it almost looks like a rabbit.
Right, because it's got the weird, like, protrusions that look like ears, and they're white, but they don't have fur.
Yeah.
They have skin like almost like, I don't know, like what? Like an elephant? Mm-hmm. You know? Like a rhino?
You know what always throws me? That when I watch it still to this day, that I was watching the taped off television version of it, and they sort of truncated the scene where they go to the little party at the Podlings.
Sure.
That party's giving it's giving Ewok.
Yeah, sure, yeah. The
On
Ewok
Endor,
Village.
the Ewok Village party.
Yeah, I see
but
that.
They would always edit that sequence that pretty much they go and see the Podlings, and all of a sudden they're being invaded by the, what do you call those creatures?
The Gartham.
The Gartham.
Yeah.
Yeah. And still to this day, I get kind of surprised when the Gartham show up. or not surprised. I don't remember the scenes prior to it.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just a little like party. Like, yeah, it's very Ewok Village. It's a little like Hobbiton. Just like, we're having a little party with our own like little kind of music going on. And these are the people that like raised Kira and her like woodsy, like of the earth people. She can talk to the animals. She can call the animals.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember Jen like healing the crystal, like in the castle, jumping on the crystal and all that. And
how do you feel about the climax of this movie when you revisit it?
Yeah.
Do you get a little impatient with it? Does it have third act problems with the story? Of that
Maybe.
Once we get to the castle, what are we going to do?
Right. You know, the Skeksis can wield the crystal and use it somehow to like harness the life force of the Podlings. But they don't have, like, they're not wizards, right? When the mystics come in, they don't have like a fight.
They do their Jedi mind tricks.
They do Jedi mind tricks to stop them from running away.
To stop the Gartham.
But they
pretty much shut down the Gartham.
Well, once the crystal is healed, its dark magic doesn't work anymore, and the Podlings are no longer under its spell, and the Gartham essentially fall apart.
They just fall apart, yeah.
But they don't like shoot electricity out of their hands or their staff.
Sure, they don't fully turn into a Jedi Sith.
Yeah, you know. And so I think they use science to wield the crystal.
Sure.
Right? Somehow. Some kind of weird, twisted science.
I mean, I guess that kind of...
But the mystics come in and just are like, all right, listen, we're one, and we need to get back together.
Also, I think what's interesting about revisiting this movie decades later, especially when thinking about something like politics, is that essentially Skeksis are... They're corrupt Congress that are ruling this world.
Right.
So it's very like, I think that's what makes it kind of interesting to revisit it.
Yeah.
If when you kind of think about our society reflecting everything happening on Thra and on the Dark Crystal.
Yes, absolutely.
It's kind of power corrupts.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I think, yeah, it's the Skeksis are subjugating the entire population of this planet to their benefit. And the mystics come in and are just like, no more. It took them the entire length of the damn movie, and Jen, they were just walking very, very slowly. Mm-hmm. While Jen is like off on his little adventures. But they get there at the same time.
Yeah.
To get the Skeksis together. And they get them together.
I mean, could he just
gather them?
They were gathered. Consider yourself gathered, Skeksis.
Gathered. They got them together.
Could Jen just have tagged along with the mystics?
But what would he have learned?
Along the way?
He needed to learn about Kira.
That shot of Kira getting stabbed.
That is wild.
I don't want to see that.
I don't want to see that.
I don't want to see that look on Kira's face when she gets stabbed in the back.
It's crazy.
By the general.
Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah. They fully stab a Gelfling in this movie, a kid's movie. A protagonist. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's wild. Yeah, there's a lot going on in the last act. There's a lot going on. Auger's in a cage. Kira's tied up. Her life force is being drained. Fezgig gets thrown down the pit. It's a lot.
Augur walking around the castle, swinging those like naturals. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, back and forth. And then the castle itself turns into the Fortress of Solitude.
Sort of turns into the Fortress of Solitude from Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I guess that, do they go back to their home planet?
It seems like it.
At the end.
It seems like they leave.
When they turn into one?
Yeah. It seems like they turn into these crazy tree people.
Mm-hmm.
The Skeksis.
I feel like whenever we revisit this movie, I'll put this on to fall asleep to.
And we never finish it.
And I never finish it. So I never make it to the last act of the movie.
We never get to the end.
Where they, two become one.
We do love the scene where the what did we say was the technician, the scientist? The scientist gets thrown into the pit and dies, and then his counterpart just disappears.
Yeah.
And the other mystics look back and they're like,
oh, well.
All right. Mm-hmm. Well, there he goes. They got him, gal.
Mm-hmm. They got me, gal.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, we do have this on, it is in regular rotation. We put this on to fall asleep to. It's very soothing. It's quiet.
Beautiful score.
It's got a great score.
Yeah. I think that's why I like to fall asleep to it.
It's a YouTube ASMR video, but it's like, kind of long form, slow burn storytelling. So yeah, it is something nice to just have on.
You'll kind of perk up when the Skeksis are battling each other.
Yeah, but for the most part, we might even be asleep by then. Just put the Apple TV on the old sleep timer and good to go.
But yeah, I mean, this movie is definitely for that very specific type of weird kid that kind of loves high fantasy like this.
Yeah. I mean, I just thought everybody was into this shit.
Same.
Everybody just watched this and the Black Cauldron and Labyrinth and call it a day.
Turns out that it was a very select few of kids that really enjoyed.
We're really going back to this.
And it didn't scare them.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think now, again, like I said, if you leave it to modern filmmakers, every kid in the 80s had a Dark Crystal poster in their bedroom.
Where are they getting a Dark Crystal poster?
Where you even got one.
Okay, so Will, in the first episode of the Dark Crystal on Stranger Things, has a Dark Crystal poster. That was probably fully made up by the art department.
I don't know. It's in Mike's bedroom.
Oh, it's in Mike's bedroom.
Or they just bought it off Etsy or something.
Because it's not
you
quite
can get one
it's not
now,
quite the
but
marketing of the Dark Crystal if you managed to buy a poster, or maybe like your movie theater just had one that you got a hold of.
Or the video store, I don't know.
I don't know if it looked like that poster.
Mike had it in Stranger Things.
I mean,
what's his name has it in the Goldbergs.
The last Endgame battle of Stranger Things looks like Thra.
It looks like the castle.
It looks like the castle. Yeah.
It looks like the Dark Crystal
Which,
castle.
have you read interviews with those
they said,
guys? Have they thought about it?
Yes. They were asked about it. They said, listen, everybody's talking about this. Looks like the damn Dark Crystal castle. It looks like the poster. What's going on? And they said, we told our art department, it's got to look like this. It's got to look like a hand. And it's got to be able to turn into the Mind Flayer.
I mean, these are also...
And we want it to be in a desolate desert wasteland.
I mean, these are also...
And this is what they came up with.
That's all direction that when they were probably developing the look of the Dark Crystal, of questions that they were asking each other.
Right.
That they were like...
So they're
asking each
saying,
other.
we did not say make it look like this poster, make it look like this element from this movie, but it did anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that's a little bit of... serendipity. I think it's a little too much of an accident.
I mean, just say that it was big inspiration.
I call shade. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're just like, we didn't know. So, yeah. Anywho.
Is there anything left to talk about for the Dark Crystal? I love this movie.
I think we covered our fair share of the Dark Crystal. We love it. We have it on 2 formats. We don't have a VHS copy of it right now.
I used to have a VHS copy of this that I bought kind of in its first big VHS release.
Did it clamshell?
No, it was not. I bought it I bought it right before I got my DVD player, actually.
Yeah.
Had I got my DVD player, I probably would have sought out the disc of it.
And you have the nice DVD that came with the book.
Yeah.
You had the special edition.
I have a little piece of film in it.
Yes. Mine is a special edition, but it's just a DVD and it has special features.
A collector's item.
But you have the nice collector's item. They came out with one for this and one for Labyrinth that had books and all that stuff.
But yeah, Thra's filled with some gay icons.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, all of the Skeksis,
All the mystics.
all of the mystics.
The mystics are like bears in the desert. The Skeksis are like you said, they're a little bit more like big city. Like
They're the monster circuit games.
yeah.
Essence.
Living for the
I love the Dark Crystal.
Yeah. A lot of fun. Mm-hmm. Thank you, guys.
Well, do we want to talk a little bit about the Weekly Rewind?
The Weekly Rewind. Yeah.
It's not going to be all that much stuff. We haven't got to...
It's been a busy work week for the two of us.
Big, busy work week. We have been working opposite schedules. This episode, as we were recording it, is pretty much going...
Up immediately.
I'm going to comb through it to edit it.
Yeah.
And then it's going right up. We're almost all caught up on House of Villains. A new one has come out today.
Yes.
This stupid show that we are fully invested in. We're fully invested in seeing that jerk from Survivor go home.
Tyler, get out of here.
Tyson, get the fuck out of here.
Tyson, get the fuck out.
I want to watch some episodes of Below Deck.
Yeah.
Because I think Kate...
Well, now
Kate's kind of the standout for me
now
this season.
Now we're just fascinated by Kate from Below Deck.
And I like that Kate is not thinking of that reality show. I have to be 3 steps ahead of everything. Because they were mentioning with Kate about, well, you know that there's like a vote at the end of the show of if you're going to win. So are you burning bridges? And Kate's just like... I don't fucking care. I just want you out.
Yeah.
I want you out.
I'm here now, and now I want you to leave. Kate asks the questions that viewers at home are like, well, I would have said this. And she's saying it. Reality TV stars never ask the right questions. They never say the right thing. They never bring up stuff. And I don't know if they're prompted by production or whatever, but she will sit there and say, well, the other day you said this to so-and-so, and now you're telling me this. What's up with that?
Yeah.
And people never say that on TV.
She calls out alliances.
And she's doing it.
Yeah.
She's saying the shit that we as the viewers are like, why don't they bring that up? And she's bringing it up. She's like, well, you just said that to me right now, but what happened yesterday when you said that to so-and-so? She probably won't win
over stuff that Tyson is saying, is that she's really not playing the game.
Right.
But I like that Kate.
But good.
But I also love that Kate just doesn't fucking
It's 2026.
care.
Somebody needs to not play the game.
Kate does not give a shit in the long run if she wins.
Yeah.
Which maybe that will come in handy. Maybe she will win because of that if you play the game that way.
Somebody like Drita from Mob Wives is just like, well, everybody's on my side, which is good.
You're playing it kind of right down the center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that could come in handy for her, but she's not good at quote unquote gaming.
You bunch of fucking jerk-offs.
These fucking jerk-offs. So she's losing mini challenges, things like that. But, you know, in the long run, when it finally comes down to it at the very end, she's making the right alliances. So, you know, we'll see how this all turns out.
I can't wait to see how this turns out.
Yeah.
I got some criterions from the flash sale on the website. Oddly, the first time I've ever done the flash sale on the website, but I got Alfred Hitchcock's Rebecca, which I have never seen. I'm very excited to watch it finally.
Yeah.
It is not anywhere to be found on digital streaming. You need a physical copy of Rebecca to watch it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that we're finally going to watch it. And we got the nice 4K of House Party. You love House Party.
Indeed. I love House Party.
We watched it last night.
We watched House Party last night. It is a really charming, surprisingly wholesome movie from the early 90s, starring Kid and Play, starring Martin Lawrence, starring Tisha Campbell, all of them very early in their careers. And it's just really, really funny, and it has some great jokes that still stand up. There are some portions of the movie that do not stand up very well. There's a portion that you might have nodded off for late in the movie where Kid winds up in jail, and the whole scene revolves around all the men in the cell attempting to pass Kid around and fuck him, apparently.
Crazy.
And he goes on to... The whole thing is, how do I get out of this? And one of the older men says, Richard Pryor said that he would keep them laughing to get their mind off of everything else. And I'm assuming Richard Pryor is talking about like beating the shit out of him or killing him or something. But in this movie, they're like, oh no, they all want to fuck you, kid. And so he goes on to rap about, hey, listen, I'm just a rapper. Leave me alone, la, la, la. But there's some questionable dialogue and lyrics.
Oh, wow. I did not opt for this scene.
Yeah.
I don't remember this.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It must be towards the end of the movie,
It's
then.
the very end of the movie.
Yeah.
Because they pick him up from jail. They bail
Because
him out.
I think I kind of dozed off a little bit.
Yeah.
Well,
they
after
bail
the
him
first
out,
hour.
and then they bail him out, and then they just take everybody home, and it ends. But yeah, I had forgotten about that. We got there, and I was like, "Oh, oof, this is a little rough." But you know, they're trying to keep it light. It's they're in jail, whatever. But I don't know. I wish that wasn't there. But everything else is really, really great. I think Kid and Play are very charming in this movie. I think Tisha Campbell is really, really good. Martin Lawrence is super funny. Robin Harris as Kid's father, so good, really charming, really great.
Oh,
character.
he's so good.
Yeah,
Really,
really funny. Some great lines about Dolomite, and
wants him to stay home and watch Dolomite. With him.
yeah. He's not like, don't go to this party, but because you're, punished or whatever. He really he's like, man, I rented some movies. I wanted to, I planned out a night for us, But I do recommend watching House Party. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, Criterion 4K.
Yeah. So I listen to audiobooks. I try to listen to a book every day. I have been going through the Rachel Reed Heated Rivalry books. I just started book 4. Yeah. But I have also been listening to Kids, Wait Till You Hear This by Liza Minnelli. Based on conversations Minnelli had with her close friend Michael Feinstein. And I'm about a quarter of the way through the book.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm listening to it on Audible.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot discussed about the Audible of this.
Yes.
Is that they clearly used AI to narrate it, which, perfectly understandable. Liza could have never done this.
Yeah.
And Liza strikes me as someone that they offered to have somebody else read it that could sort of do a impression of her voice. Cher famously did that with her audiobook. Cher's audiobook is read by the actress who is in that Broadway production of her life. Uh-huh. She narrates a majority of the book. But I love that Liza is clearly very pro AI. Like, I don't need to put in the work to do this narration. Yeah, sign me up.
Yeah.
And the AI is weird. It's like
weird.
Sometimes it sounds okay, and then sometimes it is so. I don't know what the definition for something that's uncanny valley of
just
audio
the same thing. Yeah.
But sometimes it's fucking weird.
I would say 75% of the time it sounds natural.
When they replicate breaths and breathing, I think that's when I'm really weirded out.
Yeah.
Is that when you hear it do like
but then there's just certain tones, intonations, emphasis, putting the emphasis on the wrong syllables. Saying
famously screws up the most famous quote
the Liza with a Z.
of Liza's entire career.
Yeah.
That I'm surprised that nobody caught that they couldn't go in and just sort of do something.
Yeah.
I don't know with AI. I mean, AI is not. That's such a. It's Liza with a.
Well, it's a kind of a fabricated thing. It's Liza with an S, not Lisa with a Z, because it's Liza with a Z, not Lisa with an S, because Liza with a Z goes nuts.
Yeah. It's like AI has trouble.
So
with little nuances like that.
Snoz.
Yeah, and that also when I was watching the Liza when I was watching the Liza special, the Bob Fosse Liza with the Z special, that's how the transcription is in the closed captioning.
Yeah.
So that's probably what they used, and AI is going to say snoz.
Yeah. Liza with a Z goes nuts.
I was kind of thinking that maybe they would catch it and
Liza with a Z goes
edit it out and correct it, but they hadn't done it yet.
Liza with a Z goes snoz. That's what she says.
So I am at the She has just won the Oscar for Cabaret. That's where I'm at in the book.
Okay.
And I think I'm about a quarter of the way through it. All of the Judy chapters were good. I don't think that there's really anything about Judy Garland that really hasn't already been said.
Yeah.
I think that where the most controversial hot takes of the book, I think they're later in her life.
Okay.
Where she really throws everybody under the bus.
Ooh.
I have not got to the Gaga portions. It briefly hints at it in the prologue.
She wheeled me out onto that stage.
Which, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I do think that there is a lot of Michael Feinstein's POV that has been put into this book.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about him. I know that he is a singer. I think that he does kind of great American songbook thing. He has known Liza for years. I know that Liza never really leaves his side now, that when she's been doing any sort of press for this book, he is right there. I think that he's also like the executive of her estate and her will.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I get sort of weird vibes from that one, that I do think that it's a lot of his personal opinion about Liza's life that has ended up in this book.
Oh.
But I don't know.
Interesting.
But I'm going to keep going with it, though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. And I get to listen to it as you play Disney Dreamlight Valley on our Apple HomePod.
Yeah.
Which is great. But yeah, other than that, we've been kind of laying low. We've only had a couple hours each night to hang out as I get home super late and you leave for work super early.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been our week. We're about to head out and watch Fly Me to the Moon, Rockstar 1.
Project Hail Mary.
Amanda Fell to the Moon. Project Hail Mary is what we're about to go watch.
To the Moon.
Yeah.
What's that from the Honeymooners?
Amanda Fell to the Moon. Yeah. We're about to go watch that as Artemis 2. Artemis 2 is floating out there in space.
I wish that we would have got to it on a nicer screen, but it's off of a lot of the premium screens already, sadly.
Yeah. We've had
Super Mario Brothers Galaxy is taking up all of them now.
We usually catch movies on
it's fucking spring break.
On opening weekend, but we didn't get a chance to last week. So
all of the IMAX and Dolby's are all Super Mario Brothers.
Well, that just means that maybe there won't be that many dopes in our theater making a mess.
This new Mario Brothers movie, it's supposed to be terrible.
Yeah, I'm not really.
I've been reading a lot of bad reviews about it.
Oh,
and my problems with the first Super Mario Brothers movie was, there is story problems here.
What's this movie about?
And I hear it only gets worse with this new movie.
Yeah. Why do they try to cram all this story into these kids' movies that don't need it? Anyway.
Can't we just pare it down that the climax of the movie is Mario Kart?
Yeah. Yeah, come on. It's not that hard. It's not that hard, people. At any rate, we'll get back to you on Project Hail Mary. Project Hail Mary shortly. But that's probably just about that for the rewind. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, that just means that it is time for some Patreon shout-outs.
Patreon shout-outs.
Yes, indeed. Give me a second while I pull that up. I didn't have it ready. It's that time in the show where we want to say a great big thank you and hello to all of our wonderful patrons. Thank you so much for contributing. And that goes to our brand new patron, Casey.
Just signed up today.
Yes, indeed. And Lisa, Jonathan, Christine, the other Jonathan, Teresa, Robbie, Ricky, Callum, Chava, Kitch, Barbie Clubhouse, Ronnie, Matt, Carla, Megan, Andrew, Stephen, Leah, SB, Brian, Deja, Amy, Erica, Anna, our friends at Hetty, Drew, Andy, Kate, Roberto, Daisy, Kelly, Christy, Laura, Thomas, Lori, Brenna, Lawrence, Lisa, Alexis, Thomas, Millie, Benny, Melanie, Susan, Paul, Jamie, Drew, Genevieve, Dawn, Josh, let's see, Nick and Shannon, Christine, and Rufino. You guys, thank you so much for being patrons.
Join the Movies That Made Us Gay patron at patreon.com/movies that made us gay and get awesome bonus content. We have 3 awesome layers of tiers from a thoughtful donation at the $1 level. At the $5 level, you'll get the TV shows that keep us gay, where we pick a TV show every month to talk about it. This current month, we are talking about The Comeback in honor of the third and final season that is out right now. At the top $10 level, you'll get the Watch With Us commentaries, where you can watch a movie along with us. It works as its own episode. The current commentary out is Zoolander. So join today, and you'll also get a little shout out on the main feed after each week's episode. How do you like that?
I love it. Thank you so much, patrons. And, if you want to follow our show, head over to your podcast streaming application. If you have an iPad or an iPhone, Apple Podcasts is pre-installed. So search Movies That Made Us Gay and click the follow button. You'll get notified when new episodes are released, and we would love it if you would write us a review.
Give us 5 stars.
Or leave us a 5-star rating. So you can do
Love to
that
see
on
it.
Apple Podcasts or Spotify. We'll read any brand new reviews on a new episode and give you a great big thanks there as well. You can follow our socials. We're most active on Instagram. We are at Movies That Made Us Gay. Join the conversation. Like, comment, repost, share, all of that interaction goes to us finding a wider audience. And if you'd like to follow our personal socials, feel free to do that as well. I'm at Peter Lasagna on Instagram.
I'm Scott Youngballer on Instagram, and follow my letterbox.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.